students. Hello students, welcome back to my channel. So we are learning chapter 8, which is function overloading. In the previous session, we had seen a brief introduction to what is function overloading. I had explained with the example that how exactly it works, and we had learned that it is also called as a compile time polymorphism. So today let us see a small example. So in this session, we are going to discuss only one program which implements the function overloading. And we are going to see in detail how are we going to declare it, how are we going to call that particular function. Okay. So this program is to compute the volume of a cone, cube, and cylinder. So three calculations we are going to perform. We are going to declare them as three functions, and we are going to use the function overloading method in order to do that. So the class name is function overloaded and public int volume. Okay, so here we are having first function overloaded function, and this is the second function overloaded function. So in this we are going to calculate the volume of a cube. So name of the function is volume, and it is returning integer value. Here we have only one parameter, and that parameter is of type int. Okay, so this is the calculations which we are performing. The second functions which we have overloaded is also the name of volume. So as we all know, we are going to give the same name. Here, the type is double. The returning value is double, and we have two parameters. If you see carefully here, we are having two parameters, and they both are of type double. And this is the calculations which we are performing. So this particular function is to calculate the volume of a cube, volume of a cone. Next, the third function what we have is volume. This is also volume. Here also we are returning the value double. Remember, we already have one function which is returning double. Here we have two combination. Though we have two parameters here, the first parameter is of type double. The second parameter is of type int. Okay, so this also matters. So though this looks similar to the one which we did just now, which is cone, here the return or the parameters are of different type. There we had double and double. The first parameter also was double, and the second parameter also was double, and the return type was also double. But here, though the return type is double and one parameter is having a double as a data type, the other one is having int. Okay, so this is the calculation which we are performing, and this is to calculate the volume of a cylinder. Okay, next, to calculate the volume of a cuboid, we have double as a return type. The name is volume, but here we are having three parameters, and all of them are of type double. Okay, so this is the calculation. I'm not focusing more on the calculations part, mainly because here we are concentrating more on the parameter type, number of parameters, and the return type of the function. Okay, now look at the main function here, how it works. First, I'm going to create the object. Okay, so this is my name of the class, function overloaded, and F1 is the object which I have created. Now, I'm saying volume of the cube, F1 volume of 10. So whenever I'm calling volume of 10, how does a compiler work? So compiler is going to see the name, yes, it is volume. Then it is going to check the parameter. So here we have int, and also we are having how many? One parameter. So the compiler is going to go back and check for, it has to have int. Here we have 2. So here we have 2, this is 2, here we have 3, so both of them doesn't match. So then we are going to go to the previous page, and we are going to check here, where do we have, we should have one parameter, and also it should be of type int. Now that matches with this one, isn't it? In this case, it is going to calculate this performance, right? So what is going to happen? We are going to calculate 10 into 10 into 10. That is why if you see the output here, we are going to get 1000. That is, this calculation was 10 into 10 into 10. I hope this is clear. Next, we are going to call the function volume with 2.0, 2.0. Now, what is the meaning of this? Here it means I'm calling a function whose parameter, there are two parameters, and both of them are of type float. Now again, compiler is going to go in search of a function which has two float. Okay, it can be float also, it can be double also. Okay, so here we have two double, here we have one double and one int. No, both of them doesn't match. Then let us see the previous ones. Here we have two doubles. Okay, so in that case we are going to call this particular function and going to perform this particular operation. Okay, so that is how the compiler goes and checks for a overloaded function. Again, in the next case, I'm going to call a function which has one double value and one integer value. So this particular function has two parameters. One has double, one has one parameter type is integer. So where do we have that function? We have here. So this particular calculation will be performed and the return value will be returned to here. So I'm going to get this one. You can do this calculation and check. Okay. Next, I'm going to call the cuboid. So see, the compiler cannot make out what you're writing here. Okay, so these are all comments. This is comments. This also it cannot find out. All it is going to compare this one. Only you can understand this and this. But the compiler will not. It will only understand the parameters and the number of parameters. So here I am having three parameters and all three of them are of type double. So where do I have that? I have it over here. So I am going to perform the calculation this, and this is what the output I am going to get. Okay, so I would like you all to perform this particular function. Take down this program and try to do this in your lab if at all whenever you are having the time. Okay, apart from the lab sessions, if at all you have time, take down this function overloading program and write it down. It is very interesting and you can try to implement your own type of a function overloading program also, right? So that's all in today's session, students. I hope this has been helpful to you all. Thank you for watching. Take care.